These big fat snare drum toppers sound really good, and I thought, is this something that I could make on my own? Check out the results, coming up. Hi, my name is Kevin Zahner. If this is your first time on Rhythm Notes, please subscribe so we can help you level up your drumming today. I like the big fat snare drum topper so much that I thought, can I get one for my 12-inch drum? And then I realized, maybe I could just make one. I had some parts laying around from some old tambourines, and I was highly inspired by a David Raouf video where he made some big fat snare drum toppers, and he suggested in that video to use some flexible cutting boards. I'm all about doing things yourself if it can sound good, and really, I think mine turned out a little bit better for the sound that I was trying to achieve. Big fat snare drum products are great, but I like the jingles on the topper that I made. Those jingles came from a Latin percussion tambourine that broke years ago, and I just knew I had to keep it. So like I said, this project was inspired by David Raouf's channel, and if you're not familiar with his channel, check it out. I'll put a link to that channel in the description below. All you need is a few tools, some scissors to cut the flexible cutting board, a drill, some rivets, and it doesn't matter what kind of rivets you really want to use. I used the rivets where you could just bend out the ends, and I used some needle nose pliers to do that. They're made out of brass and they're easily flexible. That didn't require any specialty tool, which is why I liked that. So the cutting board that I bought didn't completely fit the 12-inch drum, but that didn't matter because it covered enough of the drum, and that little missing piece allows me to just easily take it off the drum. And I'll put links to all these things in the description below. Step 1 is to trace the circumference that you're going to cut out on the cutting board. I used a drum rim to do this, and I just scored it with the X-Acto knife. Now you can trace this instead. It turns out that I thought I would use the X-Acto knife to cut it out completely, but I ended up using scissors instead. So that's actually step 2, is to cut out the circumference. And if you use an X-Acto knife, they can get away from you a little bit easier than scissors. So I recommend doing the second method of tracing with a pen or a pencil, or whatever you have to mark, and then just use some utility scissors to cut it out. It's much safer and it's not going to get away from you necessarily. Then lay out the jingles the way you want them. I didn't measure anything fancy. I just made it look close enough because I'm not super concerned about it looking perfect on the drum necessarily. I want it to sound good, and so I just laid them out in a pattern that I thought was perfect for what I was looking for. I just drilled through each jingle to get a little bit of a starting point, and then I finished off each hole without the jingles on the flexible cutting board. Now you can use a heated nail or other things to melt a hole through if you'd like a neater, cleaner approach. I had no problem just drilling a small hole and cleaning up the drill hole area when I was done. Step number 5, attach the jingles with the rivets. Now, like I said, I used the rivets where you can just spread them, and I spread them with needle nose pliers and then just double check to make sure that those jingles wouldn't fall off. And I've been playing it for a little while and I've had no problems. So let's do a quick comparison of these toppers. I made a topper with jingles for the 12-inch. I made a topper with no jingles for the 12-inch. And we also have the jingle topper from Big Fat Snare Drum for the 14-inch. So here's what it sounds like. Just to try it out, I threw the 12-inch topper on the 14-inch drum, and it sounds pretty good. If you like this video and you want to watch more, check out this one suggested to you by YouTube, and check out this one suggested to you by Rhythm Notes. Please subscribe so we can help you level up your drumming, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.